Yeah,
Like I
all
get
of the
it.
war isn't fought on the battlefield. Like obviously the frontline men are doing something that the most powerful men aren't doing. You don't want the most powerful person to die.
Welcome back to the channel, ThonLexy, here with another video. Tommy Sotomayor has been on a lot of different panels lately, Fresh and Fit in particular. I think he does his best work over at Fresh and Fit. I just think he's comfortable over there. And he had this conversation with this woman who was foolish enough to take these crazy ass feminist positions on why women can do the same physical tasks that men can do, regardless of how rigorous the job can be. And we all know how ridiculous an argument like this is, and it made for one hell of a video. Hit the subscribe button and notification bell. Let's not waste 1 minute.
Explaining why women were oppressed so much in the beginning, because you're saying that all of the reasons why they shouldn't be put in these positions are for their protection, when really a lot of the things that are being spoken about on this podcast that I'd love to be on are generalizations. Sometimes there are women who feel like they are warrior archetypes and they want to be placed in those type of arenas. And so they should be allowed to do so. Other women, yes, other women are delicate and they would be sexualized or harassed or whatever. And yes, men have natural tendencies to want to protect them. But at the end of the day, that shouldn't be a reason why you say
I respectfully disagree.
They shouldn't do this and that.
I'll tell you why you're wrong. The reason why you're wrong is because we have a male standard and we have a female standard. The female standard is significantly less. If women could pass the male standards, cool, join the military. If you can pass all the same standards that the men do, join the military, but women can't. Maybe 1 out of 100, 2 out of 100. The exception doesn't make the rule. Most women are not physically adequate and capable of combat.
I wonder how she can argue with that when the barrier to entry had to be literally changed and adjusted just for women to be able to join the military. And women will say, nope, we're still the same. Doesn't really matter that I'm in the face of demonstrable evidence that proves the contrary. I'm just going to say we're still better.
Question. The thing is that we attract who we are. However, I'm not attracting who I am. I feel like I'm in a happy place.
That's why we have to put 2 different standards, which in itself inherently makes it unequal, which is what women want. You want equality? Yeah. Then there's one standard.
Go, Tom.
The movie 300 was a perfect example of this. The hunchback said, I want to fight with you. And he said, like Leonidas said, lift up your sword. I mean your shield. And he couldn't. And he said, a phalanx works like this. Every man has to be there to protect the other. If there's a weak link in the phalanx, the whole thing goes down. So he was a man just like them, but they said he didn't meet the standard. And they do it all the time to us as men. We get cut from the basketball team because we're not good enough. Yep. We don't go around complaining.
Yep.
Right. But women will say, well, it's not fair. That's why I was saying earlier, y'all speak from emotions. Men speak from either you're good enough to do it or you're not.
All right.
Women talk to us like they understand that when they're talking to men. They will tell a man, look, I'm not interested in you. I'm interested in him. He has what I want. You don't. You lose. And we have to accept it.
Yep.
But when men decide they want the same standard, women say, that's not fair. That's sexist. You're colorist. You're racist. You hate yourself. They use emotional arguments with no logic involved.
Exactly.
You just said if a woman wants
Sign
to do
language.
it, she should be able to do it. Fuck your wants. Can you do it? Your wants should not have, I want to be in the NBA. Should I just let me just go out there and play because I want it?
Well, logically, it wouldn't only be based on the want. It would be the want and the ability.
But the
and
ability is not
be
there.
an overarching theme that because she's a woman, she cannot.
Because because we got a long laundry list of our
superior to women as much
NBA, not one out of all the women, and there are more women in the United States than men. So you mean to tell me there's not one woman, but you still want to tell me about it's wrong to generalize? Well, how about this? Get one woman that can play in the league.
So we can't train hard enough.
Who's stopping women from training right now?
No, but I'm saying, like, you're
Not what you're saying. Let's talk about what actually has happened through the history of Earth.
Okay.
Is there one woman played in the NBA?
No.
One woman played in the NFL?
No.
One woman played in Major League Baseball?
No.
So
Is there
why
one
not?
guy working at Hooters?
You're keeping him from doing it. He can do it.
Hooters.
Why are we talking about Hooters right now? It isn't because a silly broad is speaking, is it? Yeah, I think that is what it is. that gave me everything I needed to know about your level of intelligence right there, lady. If you believe that that's a reasonable equivocation or that's a logical parallel to draw, I really think that something's wrong with you, and I think that your brain needs to be looked at. Something's not all there.
Y'all, hold on a second. For a woman to work at Hooters, you could be dumb as a box of rocks. All you got to do is be willing to wear skimpy outfits.
That's true.
My God.
That's true.
That was a terrible argument.
I said it's hard to have a woman will make an emotional argument.
And the man is the manager.
Exactly.
That's the man. He's back.
Ladies, I mean, it's as simple as this.
And the cook.
All we're saying is that there are no laws or rules in place keeping women from playing in the NBA. However, there are rules in place that don't allow men to play in the WNBA. And that is because it's a biological fact that men are physically superior to women. As much as you guys want to get mad at me and cry, it's fucked up.
No,
whatever. You guys are not capable of competing, period. So when we're talking about combat, you might say, well, a woman might be warrior-esque, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Because if I got to serve in the military, I need to know the guy next to me can drag me to safety if I get hit. I need to know the guy next to me can fight a guy off while I'm trying to snipe. I need to know the person next to me is capable. And unfortunately, because we live in this crazy pussified world where we want to make everyone equal and feel happy and include them, we're going to make our military weaker for what? Feelings. Equality. That's stupid. Because that's luckily we have the technology and everything else to, to substantiate, the strength of our military, even though we have women in the military. But I believe when it comes to infantry and combat positions, I'm not saying women can't be in the military. I'm saying combat positions like infantry, where you're face to face with these guys sometimes, fighting them. Women have no place in that.
And I also think that in law enforcement, a lot of people feel the same way. They just don't want to express it. But I've seen this in real time. I've seen people who are in distress and they fear that they're in physical danger. And when a female unit is sent out, they get really uneasy about that. They look at it as the department being careless by sending out a woman. A female law enforcement officer might even tell you that there are jobs or there have been time or calls that she's been turned away from simply because of these things that we're talking about, because people feel uneasy when women show up under the understanding that they're less capable of being able to protect them than a man.
You cannot compete. And if anything, you are a liability as a woman on the battlefield.
Look at China, bro. They don't bringing on women.
And that's not to attack any female service members. Thank you for your service. But when it comes to infantry, we cannot sit here and lie to each other and say a woman is capable of fighting in infantry like a man is. No, she's a liability. Go ahead, Tom.
Look online, happened in the UK. One of the funniest videos. There's two of them. One happened in New York too. But the one in the UK is funny because there's 3 women cops who were trying to arrest the man. You saw it? They were trying to arrest this man, and they don't carry guns like that in the UK.
Yeah.
So they had to manhandle this man. He whooped all 3 of them hoes' ass. They just kept coming. He was just whooping their ass. In New York, there was a guy trying to arrest this guy, the homeless, and he was holding him down. But his feet were still flailing. So the woman tries to hold his feet. He continually kicks this woman off. She's falling back. She's falling back to one point where she falls on the subway tracks. That's the difference. That's why when you saw those women, the women cops, guess who are some of the biggest ones to shoot somebody first? Those white women, because what else can they do?
Yeah.
They shot that black dude who was walking with his hands up. Not one male cop shot him. It was only the female cop who shot him. The other one, the one in Dallas, who came in the wrong apartment.
I remember that. That was like 2-3 years ago.
Her first thoughts was, if I do some hand-to-hand combat, I'm losing.
Facts.
So I must shoot him first. As a matter of fact, ladies, if y'all got a domestic violence situation and you're dating me and I'm whooping your ass.
Hypothetically, of course.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Welcome to Fresh and Fit, motherfuckers.
Let's go.
But no, so I'm whooping your ass. And you called the police. And they send 2 women to get me off you. Wouldn't you want them to send some man to get me off you? Seriously.
I ain't even gonna lie. I'm gonna look at them like, really?
Thank you.
What you
They sent a woman the same size as you, talking about, so what's going on here?
I'd be like, no. Go get your mans. They sent you with another
If it's me.
I like how the girl agreed and said I would be like, nah. Go ahead and bring a man. Because most women feel like that. Where she was honest right there, I think most women would lie just for the sake of making the person who they disagree with have a more challenging time. Let's get back into it.
It probably turned into a threesome. Like that.
Ladies, I'll tell you this. I got a question for all ladies. All of you guys are captains, the president of a country. All right? You got one battle. But you have two choices. You're either going to send in 20,000 men or 20,000 women to fight for the safety and liberty of your country. They're both equally trained, went through the same exact training. Who are you picking, the 20,000 men or the 20,000 women?
This is the point.
Oh.
If we're going to talk
Not
about
gonna answer the
gender, we're
question.
gonna play
Not
to
gonna
our
answer the
strengths.
question.
If you're talking about like strategies,
Can you please
war
answer the question?
strategies, I would send this. Okay, I would send the
Just answer
women
the
to
question.
infiltrate whatever the opposing team is, but not with strength. Probably like with
Strategy?
like
To distract them
strategies,
with
like
activity.
distraction.
She's like, a different type of warfare. We'll just go down there and use something other than strength. We'll just talk to them and distract them and confuse them. It's funny. It's like every second that her mouth is moving, she's proving why women need to be light years away from the fucking military. Like, let's get back into it.
Going to get infiltrated? They're going to take the women and infiltrate them. That's what
That's what I was about to say. Think about it, ma'am. Let me explain something to you. This is really simple. If that country is ready to fight you, one of the things that women are in countries when they fight, they're called spoils of war.
Thank you. They take the women.
They take the women.
Just take
So
them.
if you sent your women there first,
Thank you.
they're just going to be captive. Now they're going to be waiting on you to come try to save them. Now your strategy is going to be different, and you're going to have those men acting out of character because now their women are captured.
Not only that, you just proved why women shouldn't be in leadership positions.
Yes.
Anyway, moving on. Continuing on. All right.
Men.
Who are you sending, the men or the women?
Men.
Okay.
The men.
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 Man,
Now, let's reverse it. If I was going to send my child to a daycare, shout out to Andrew Tate, would you prefer to send him to an all-woman daycare or an all-men daycare?
She's not going to like my answer. Because it's going to be men. Because think about it this way.
Oh, yeah.
I've had too many daycare. Number one, statistics show, even though it's fewer, men do a better job of raising children by themselves than women do. Number
Fact.
two,
That's a fact.
men are less violent towards children than women are. Women
That
are
is
more
true.
abusive to their children mentally, emotionally, and physically.
That is true.
Therefore, the last
What
part.
kind of women?
Will you shut up, man?
There's always some kind of angle. Just women. I looked up these statistics already, and it's just women. There isn't like a brain disorder or some type of correlation they found between the way all these women think. Just normal, everyday. Didn't expect her to throw your kid up against the wall every day ass women.
At what point you gonna sit the fuck down?
What race of women? Because I feel like
Merch.
There you go with our feel.
Merch. I feel like
We'll talk about stats, and I brought up stats.
Yep.
The person responded to my stats with
I feel. Right, because I don't have a factual anything to fall
That's
back.
why
on.
men
Their
stop
point
having the
that women think with
conversation.
emotions
That's why
and not
men
facts.
don't jump in a conversation in which a man stated facts unless they could argue those facts.
I
They
get
wouldn't
what you're
say,
saying.
I feel, because your feelings have nothing to do with facts. As a matter of fact, the reason why most of us are having fucked up relationships, single, or doing the most fucked up shit online, all crazy shit, and been in 9,000 different relationships, because we felt that nigga we fucked that night was the best nigga, and he ended up wasn't. We felt like I was gonna be with this nigga for the rest of his life, and he wasn't. We felt like this nigga was gonna take care of his kids, and he didn't. So let's not talk about how we feel, because we got a long laundry list of our feelings being fucking wrong.
Yeah, you might have just made a fact just now. That's some real shit.
Uncle Tommy cooking, I ain't gonna. Well, I think it adds to an argument that I'm trying to get out there, that there aren't deadbeat fathers in the black community. Matter of fact, black men are the most active fathers when the child is had in healthy circumstances. But for the most part, we have an issue with women not knowing who the fathers are. I call it the stimulation over substance theory. I believe that black women see a man for his swagger, for the way he talks, how often he'll go out. Very superficial, stereotypical, urban reasons to date a guy.
Damn.
Shit.
I'll say this real
Okay,
quick.
so
Facts right there, right there,
can
right
I
there, man.
even
We're
done
trying
with
to
my
say
thought.
Because I want to give her a bone, right? So what I'm saying by that is, if
You ain't
I
the only
had
one.
kids, right? if I had kids and I had a choice between an all guy daycare or an all female daycare, I would probably want to send my kid to an all female daycare, just because of the certain, the what's the
nurturing,
nurturing, but there's another thing too, because there's a stigma that guys could potentially be weird, even though men do beat women in a lot of the same things that women are supposed to be good at. But that's the point I'm trying to make, is that men and women are different, and we have different things that make us better than the other at certain things. That's not to say men are better than women, because that's what I think you're coming from. You're like, well, women can do it too. I'm not saying women can't do it. I'm just saying that men are better at doing it. Can I use a screwdriver as a hammer and knock that nail in? Absolutely. But a hammer is going to get the job done more efficiently, quicker, and with less headache. That's all I'm saying.
But you've fallen into the westernization of making men out to be predators. That's why women can get away with more. We immediately looked at these men as they'll do something wrong to the kids.
I was saying in general.
I know. I think I would be being dishonest if I were to say that before I found these statistics, that I would have said the same thing as Myron. I know that I would have said the same thing as Myron before I saw those statistics because, again, you just assume that women would be more nurturing. And I think that's why women can get away with a lot of stuff when it comes to younger kids is because a lot of the inherent trust that we give women just for being women. Let's get back into it.
Hey, I'll stay at your house while you out going for the weekend. Keep your wife safe. You're gonna be like, hell no. But if a couple chicks be like, I will stay here to make sure she's fine. You don't even think they up in there just muff diving all weekend just a licking each other. You won't even think. You won't even look at it that way.
And Tommy, you're right. You want to know why? Because only in the United States or Western countries in general have this strange thing where they think all men, when they deal with young children, have this, like, I'm just going to say the P word because we're on YouTube, have this P tendency. You know what I'm saying? You go to Japan, you go to other countries where crime rates are low. It's like, it's nothing for them to see a lot of male teachers, male daycare,
there are few male teachers sleeping with students today than female teachers sleeping with students.
Oh my
That's true.
goodness.
Yet the problem is we won't bring out that number, number one. Of
course not.
But number two, we think that it's a cool thing that the boy got to sleep with. I told a story about being molested as a 10-year-old on my show. People said, you got lucky and he must be gay if he didn't like it. I was 10 years old.
They told you that?
Yes.
Holy shit.
They were coming on the internet. Look, you tell he gay. He didn't like it. I was 10. Why would you think that was okay? But nobody would ever say, if a girl said, by my male babysitter, nobody going to say, was he fine?
Yeah, they ain't going to say that. No. Hell no. And that's the difference. That's the difference. The difference in. How
and I apologize. I said the word.
You go. We have Twitch now.
I just thought about it. I'm not going to do it again.
But does that make sense that the genders are better at certain things than the others?
I just feel like, how long are we going to keep focusing on like this is better, and that's you're basically just mansplaining every single thing. Like, when are we going to focus on how to like use the strengths to our advantages?
We are.
I mean, okay. Are men on a balance of probability stronger than women physically?
Yes.
Okay.
You can see that from a mile away. Now what?
So then what's the argument?
So what's the argument? If I'm going to put the most capable individual in the combat position where it's life or death and we're protecting the country, what is so mansplaining about that? It's a biological fact.
Exactly. Right. So after you say the biological fact, you're going to put the men on the field. And then what place will the women have? Since you don't want them on the field, what will they do? Maybe help you come up with a war strategy. Since they think differently, they can probably get to the minds of the opposing team, like appealing to their ethos, since we're so emotional. What about that?
There is no emotion in war. You run up on and trying to kill each other.
It's not. There's so many different elements to war. What about what's it called? Like guerrilla warfare, where they would like disguise themselves as like nature or whatever. I have family members that are in the Marines and all type of stuff like that. We're not going to do fallacy because that doesn't make any sense. Obviously, I haven't been to war. Do I look like I fight?
Okay. So we're just saying he's been basically special forces, right? He's probably seen more than you.
Well, I've been special forces. I used to work in law enforcement.
Law enforcement.
But yeah.
So we're just saying, as a judgment call, he can see behind the scenes, okay, you know what? Yes, women have a role to play, but that will not be their best role.
I know the inherent danger that men are capable of, and I know a woman cannot stop it. That's why, because I know what a man is capable of.
Maybe not physically, but mentally, probably.
What are you going to think when he's going to punch you in the face?
No,
you're a dumbass.
I mean, I know what you mean when you say that there's different elements to war. Like, before we send our men, there's discussions amongst nations that pop off.
Yeah, like I get it. The war isn't fought on the battlefield. Like, obviously the frontline men are doing something that the most powerful men aren't doing. You don't want the most powerful person to die. Like,
ladies, what can I?
In leadership, she's like, not all fights are fought with brute force and physical strength. Bitch, yes they are. Every war since war started, since like the very first conflicts, none of them were done telepathically or subliminally or with sign language or anything. It was straight up ones, and you know what I mean? Can't say it because of monetization, but you know what they were getting into.
Chitty chitty bang bang, he's on attack.
Yeah, it's always been a man's world. We're just living in it. Have we given the opportunity to like maybe possibly do something?
If somebody's got to give you the opportunity, that's the problem. Because if you think about it, the United States was formed not because somebody gave them the opportunity, because they took it.
Right. And
War and countries are formed by taking it. So until women stand up and fight men, stop talking about them. If you think that they're oppressing you, fight them.
We are. And
no, not with your mouth, because we allow you to do that. Fight them physically, because we can't fight other countries with our mouth.
Women.
All right, girls. It's a no
mouth.
toto for nobody. Everybody put the kitties away.
So I'm saying, like, fight them. Fight men. Yeah. If you're not willing to fight them, if that's the case, then the only thing stopping.
Let me get this straight. Tommy Sotomayor proposes a way that women can, metaphorically speaking, fight against men in regards to the condition that they're in. Of course, a bold 304 steps up and says the dumb statement of, okay, ladies, let's put all of our chi-chis up and let's put our cuckoos up and let's not give them anymore. Let's let them F themselves. That's still not fighting. That's just saying you don't want to sleep with a man anymore. And it says so much about how you view yourself that when thinking about how to fight in a situation that is non-sexual, all you could think about was offering up your poon once more.
Is other men.
Hold on, real quick.
The only thing stopping them from taking is other men.
You've been quiet most of the show.
Oh my god, I just she in her own world.
Oh my god, just take me home.
No, I just feel like let's just like have men fight that shit, because I'm just not trying to do that. I don't want to do that, and I don't think a lot of women want to.
Well, but what you're saying is the problem that we're dealing with in the Black community, which is why we're on the bottom. Our women have the most mouth and the less ability to do anything to affect what they're saying. They love to tell you a lot of things, but they can't do anything about it. When they get mad at us on YouTube or Twitter or whatever, they as tough as they are, who they have to run to get us flagged off? The white man, the same white man they say that they tired of.
Hello.
So if you really are so strong, why is it you got to go to get somebody else to fight your battle? You fight it yourself. So until women start fighting their own battles, maybe they should understand exactly what you said. My mother is quick to say, I don't want to go downstairs if somebody's breaking in the house or I hear something fall. I want a man to go do that. That's his job. I don't want to haul bricks on my back. I bought a truck for that. There's a reason why you should make things easier on you. But it seems like Black women love to try and make stuff the hardest they possibly can. I don't need no man. I can raise these kids by myself. Okay, so you want to put yourself behind the 8-ball. You don't want to make it easier for you and your children.
Maybe sometimes that argument, it comes out of ego, because it's like, damn, nigga, like we done laid down and we'd agreed to bring forth this life and you done abandon.
Most of the time we don't agree. Most Black babies are oops babies. They can sit down and have a discussion of, oh, we're going to have children. It's
such a dishonest thing to do, to look at a community void of fathers and assume that all of the women were let down and none of them made poor decisions.
Guess what? I miss my period. That's what it is. Let's not lie. 76% of Black children are born out of wedlock. Because if you want to believe that, ladies, listen to me. If you want to believe a man will take care of your kid, make sure he take care of you first. Because if I ain't taking care of you, chances are I ain't going to want to take care of what came from you.
That's all you women need to know to not become a single mother out here. A lot of you women are single mothers because of that, because you don't understand that little simple thing that he just said right there. I believe a lot of our women were picking men any kind of way and then blaming the entire community for why their son or their daughter doesn't have a dad. I do agree with Tommy that our women are the most rebellious to their men and almost take joy in disagreeing with their men for absolutely nothing, just for the sake of not listening to a Black man. Hit the subscribe button, also hit the notification bell to be notified every single time we post content just like this. It's SOUNDEFFECT. See you on the next one.